In this second video, I talk about smart practicing with motivation and focus and creativity. And then I share some practicing tips for you. In motivation, we know that we can't teach it to you. So it's in you or it is not in you. So think really, what motivates you? Why did you start to be a musician? What turns you into music? Why do you love music? It's very important to keep that in your mind and not forget that when you are studying, because then you're a lot of focusing on the problems and creating routines and repeating things. So you have to have a balance in your practicing. Then you also can easily save your motivation. And I would challenge you to think that the learning could be love of yours also. So that you love learning new things. So because of that, you might be motivated on new kind of practicing techniques. You love to increase your skills, learn new things, and catch your goals. And love the music, love the telling stories to auditions, love touching people. This is a great profession because you can give pleasure to people. And to give pleasure, you have to feel the pleasure, and not only feel the pressure. And it's very important that you also are aware of your goals. Like, what do you want to learn next month? What you are working with? How do you want to improve that? Do you have variation of exercises so that you skip one if it's not working and change to another one so that it is working better? Do you have enough advice and good tips to go further with that? What is your goal for next year? What do you want to learn? What are your skills now? Where do you want to be? Talk with your teacher, make a plan, and after 1 year, check out, did I really reach what I was looking for? Or should I change something in my way of practicing so that I get it faster? Do you have goals for long term? What are your dreams? Where would you like to be in the future, in your dreams? Because when you have goals, you usually go towards the goals. So the goal is not good enough if you only think, oh, I will finish my master's someday or find some kind of a job. Have a dream. Go for the dream. That's much more effective. So take care of the goals. And focus is very, very important. It's very important to concentrate, to really do exactly right things. So you repeat the right things, never the wrong things, if you can avoid it. If you are a little too tired, you can't focus, you lose the best ergonomical position, and then you practice in the little wrong one, rather than keeping your attention as far as the tension goes on, and then have a break. So you recognize, now I'm focused, now I'm not, now I need a break. And practicing environment is very crucial, very important. Avoid having the stress feeling when you have like 60 minutes time to practice. You have a lot of things after the 60 minutes, but if you can calm down and think, okay, for now, I just don't think what is coming after 1 hour. I just have full 1 hour to practice. This is what is my plan. I want to memorize these 16 bars and I work this and this and this way. I love the music. Okay, I have enough time to learn it. Fine. And then go back in hurrying and changing places and doing other studies. So it's like being in the present, calming down is a very good skill for practicing. And it's also very important that you shut down the phone. Students usually say that the phone is the worst. It buzzes and makes noises, and you look and, oh, I got the message, and then your mind is like here and there, rather than, okay, what was my plan for practicing? What did I supposed to do now? So put it in the flight mode. You can still use the metronome, and you can put there the timer on in the phone and make it alarm like 10 minutes before you have to go. So then you can still finish your practicing and then pack your things and then go. Feel calm. When you have a break in your practicing, that if you can avoid checking your email or WhatsApp or something, it helps you to focus back more quickly in your practicing. And use smart methods in the practicing. Smart practicing techniques. I will share you one which is one of my favorites. And even if you have good ones, like always you can try other one, and you might find something which is even better for you. You don't know before you try. So for now, this next exercise, I want you to pick up 1 or 2 bars chunk of music what you are working with now, what needs technical repetition, what you already can play, but you need to polish it so that it's absolutely every time like you want. And now I want you to pick up short passage, and we do one focusing exercise, what you can try in your practicing, and then we add there this short passage, like 1 or 2 bars, what you are working on now, which needs technical repetition, but you still know how it sounds, how it feels when it's correct. So you have been able to do it correctly already. So it's like polishing something. So you pick up that chunk of music, and then we do an exercise with the focus. So pick up 3 things you see around you, like a chair, floor, ceiling, something very visual around you. Pick up 3 things you hear, like the sound of computer, the sound of your own breathing, something coming from outside. Take it with you. Pick up 3 things you feel in the body. Where are your arms touching? How does it feel, the breathing, and some other body feelings? Pick up 2 things you see. 2 things you hear. 2 things you feel. 1 thing you see. 1 thing you hear. 1 thing you feel. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw and tongue. Think that there is a triangle inside you, 2 corners around your shoulders and the 3rd corner around your belly button. And then add that inside triangle with low, pleasant, resonating voice. And listen that voice a moment. And then imagine that you are in the practicing room with the instrument. You have the 1 or 2 bars chunk of music you picked up earlier. And then you start practicing it in your mind very, very slowly, so that you are aware of the good sound, you are aware of what the body is doing, you are totally aware of where to focus to make it perfect. Slowly through in your mind. And when you're ready, then you can open your eyes. This is a very simple, everyday way of practicing, and at the same time giving your body some kind of a smart break. So you focus the right things, you do it absolutely right in your brain. It's very good for your learning. You should do it almost as many times as repeating with your instrument. You can also be very creative in your practicing. Very, very normal thing is that if this is the place where you start your practicing and this is the place where you perform the piece, you very often in the beginning start with, okay, what are the rhythms, what are the notes, how are the phrases, what is the style, how does this go, and where is the main theme, where is the second theme, and so on. So it's like learning the structure and then memorizing it, practicing it with a pianist if that's the case, and then you are in the midway, and then very often you just repeat, sort of test that the body can do it, you can memorize it, yeah, it's going on and fine. And then you are on the stage and then you are surprised that why it doesn't work on the stage. Why do I have so much empty space in my brain? I'm nervous and they're staring at me and now I don't know how to focus on the music. I think it's much clever if you not only solve the problems on the beginning of the piece and learning process of the piece, but also in the end, more towards the end, you learn to focus on the music. What kind of things keep my mind in the music while I play? Because then you learn to have that kind of skill that on stage, the mind has been practiced to work and go back and focus on the music. Typically the mind is wandering away. Also, it might happen in the performance that you have some kind of extra thoughts. But if you have practiced to call the thoughts back, like, come on, this is what I want to focus. And use some tools like emotions, poems, stories, senses, listening inner sound. There's tons of different ways how you can actually call your mind back to put these things together in the music and in the phrases, and then let the focus be in the music. Then you have the skill which works on stage, in the concerts, in the auditions, in the exams. And this is an example, for instance, like you can start easily with the pictures. So could this be an atmosphere with some first movement of your repertoire? And then you change the atmosphere to the second kind of atmosphere in the second movement, for instance. You can start with atmospheres and pictures, put them on the music stand and see, does it help? And then try also many other ways so that you find what is the best way for me. And about practicing techniques, I want to share you this idea. I call it random practice 3 minutes. You have selected 5 different spots in the first page. You start with the first one and you practice your 3 minutes by using the problem solving techniques. You improve. After 3 minutes, you stop, you change to another spot and you do the same way, like 3 minutes with that one and so on. After the 5th, you either have a break or you go back to the first one if you feel that you are still having enough energy and you can focus. And then before starting again the chunk number 1, remember how it felt already when it had improved, so that you remember what was the progress, what did you already get. And then play again and repeat the similar thing again. So you can do it many times if you like, and all the time the brain is very active those 3 minutes, because it changed the target, so the activity is there all the time. And then at the same time you practice the skill for tomorrow's practicing, so that tomorrow when you start with the chunk 1, you already remember how you remembered, like how it was yesterday. So it's like starting to move the things into the mid-term memory and then into the long-term memory. So it's like, it's not only more active, but more fast also in the learning wise. And here you can see a picture where it shows really that there's a lot of lights on in the first 3 minutes, and then the brain has a tendency of shutting down the lights when you repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. The autopilot goes on very easy, and then you are not learning so efficiently again. So it's much smarter to change the spot and increase your focus also that way. And also in the same web page I mentioned in the first video, you can go to print out and find more creative technique tips for your practicing. There's tons of them. So it's like really up to you if you want to go and search for even more and find the best individual practicing techniques for yourself. And here is the web page address again. Thank you.